Why do you like Snoop Dogg? He swears so much.
I know, it's so inappropriate. Anyway.
Mommy likes all the swear songs.
Yeah.
I do not.
B, 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 F, F.
Chan, don't do that. Welcome back to a very special episode of the Brooker Family Podcast. I'm Heather.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Miss Channing Brooker.
And this is a weekly pop culture and entertainment show for parents
And kids.
Everybody.
And this week we are going to be talking about music. Music we love, concerts we love, shows we want to go see or maybe didn't get to see.
Sure.
And once again, I want to remind everybody that we are shifting the focus of our show just a little bit right now because we are standing in solidarity with the Screen Actors Guild and the WGA while they are in contracts, working on a new contract for those unions.
Yes.
So we're not going to be actively promoting any current releases or new releases on purpose anyway. If it comes up accidentally, that's okay.
Oops.
But we're
Ruh-roh.
trying to be careful not to do that so we can stand in solidarity with them. So that being said,
It falls to music.
we're going to be talking about music. Last week we talked about cruises. This week we're going to be talking about music that we love. Listen, this is the summer of massive concerts.
It's huge.
Right?
Huge.
Yes.
Taylor Swift, we have to talk about Taylor Swift.
For sure.
She has taken the concert world by storm. Like the fact that when the tickets went on sale, I think last fall, it was an all out I think they crashed Ticketmaster.
It was a debacle is what it was.
It was so insane. So this has been a hot ticket item for a long time to get in to see Taylor Swift. Sorry, I'm still thinking about the cruise.
Ruh-roh.
To see Taylor Swift. And luckily, careful, bunny.
I'm not doing. Mom, that was you.
I didn't do anything.
You kicked something.
Okay, anyway.
I'm so dramatic.
Okay, anyway. So we didn't get tickets to go see Taylor Swift.
Right.
Because I didn't try to get them.
Well, we were also out of town,
I honestly don't think that would have mattered because they went
Yeah.
on sale last fall. And we
but she
didn't-
played 6 shows in LA.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the main reason is that Channing's not a huge fan.
Right.
No,
She's not a
not
Swiftie.
really.
Not a Swiftie.
Yeah, if Channing had been like, Mom, this is the concert of my dreams, I'm dying to go. Or if I was a massive fan.
Sure.
I think I
would
would have
be
tried
like,
to get it.
Family,
But-
come on,
but-
get your Taylor Swift shirts on. Let's go.
But,
Right.
but people went to this show because of the spectacle, I think.
Sure.
I think some of them who weren't big, huge fans still went because
Sure.
you just have to.
Yeah.
I mean, these shows, I read something, they pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into the LA economy, just the Taylor Swift shows themselves.
Well, people were flying in from all around the
Right.
world to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I 100% believe that.
Yep.
But she played 6 nights in Los Angeles, all sold out every single night. And
We know people that went twice.
we know people that went twice, rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our rich friends. The tickets were insanely expensive. And to be honest, it looked like a really fun show.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fandom around Taylor Swift is fascinating to me. The Swifties,
Yep.
they're going to concerts, they're exchanging bracelets. I don't know where that came from, but
It's
they're
like friendship bracelets,
friendship
right?
bracelets. Yeah. I don't know where that came from or who started it, but it's like a huge thing. Celebrities are getting into it. People are exchanging, bracelets with huge stars and stuff like that at these shows.
Now, Chan, you have friends that are big Taylor Swift fans, right?
Oh, yes, I have so many.
Really?
Yeah, don't say their names though.
Yeah, I'm not going to say their names.
Okay.
I'm just saying I have
But
so
but
many.
but you're at the age where you know people that are big big Taylor Swift
Yeah,
fans.
I know a couple people.
And why haven't you gotten into Taylor Swift?
I think you like Taylor Swift.
I like Taylor Swift. I'm just not a huge fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
There's a difference. I think there's a difference there. Like you can have a respect and a mutual wow, she's a great artist and I
do.
enjoy her music.
I respect her
she's
as an artist.
incredibly talented. But I think for Chan in particular, you just have a different taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what kind of music do you like and what do you listen to?
This is hard.
Is it? Because literally you have one band that you're obsessed with.
I can think of maybe 2 bands that you'd like a
And
lot.
I'm like, it's not that hard.
I don't know what type of music they pop rock.
Rock.
Yeah, there you go.
Pop rock.
It's rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Say the name of the band.
Imagine Dragons.
There you go.
You're a big Imagine
and,
Dragons fan.
And I sort of like 21 Pilots.
There you
Okay,
go.
so what do you like about Imagine Dragons?
I don't know. Well, maybe it's because I recently have how it all started in 1999.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
I was in class one day, like this is when I was in 3rd grade, before the podcast even started. We were doing like this dance and stuff, and it's To Believer by Imagine Dragons. I didn't know it was by Imagine Dragons because Kids Bop was singing it.
Oh, okay.
So my whole class thought, oh, they are the creators of this song. So I googled it up because back then I used my dad's computer. And I figured out that the band name is actually Imagine Dragons, so I started listening to more of their music.
You see, that's interesting to me.
And then I told my friends, it's Imagine Dragons that sings that song with my braces on.
You set it straight, yeah.
With my braces on.
Well, that's
and
so
stuff.
interesting that Kids Bop kind of introduced you to that. And that's interesting that Kids Bop is like the gateway. The
It is, I
gateway
think,
to
for
a lot of popular
kids.
songs.
Yeah. I think it is for a lot of kids, actually. Kids Bop is incredibly
Yes.
popular.
Yeah, they're on like 50th edition of Kids Bop
of kids.
hits or something like that.
There were
yeah.
Kids Bops when I was a kid. But that's true. I can totally see that. You like Imagine Dragons.
Yes, I like Imagine Dragons.
That is your first concert was Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, no, actually, my first concert was Michael Bublé.
Bublé.
I'm not counting that. That was for work.
It's a solid concert,
It's
though.
a solid concert,
Yeah.
but that was for work.
He also said the S word.
Michael Bublé swore a lot,
And
actually.
his pants fell.
He ripped his pants.
I like Michael Bublé too. I think I respect him as an artist
He put on
too.
a great show.
He's a crooner, man.
We saw
He's
him. Amazon
great.
Prime invited us to go in their suite and watch Michael Bublé, and he put on a great show.
Yeah.
It was really fun. But technically, I'm going to say your first concert that you really wanted to go to was Imagine Dragons because
Yes.
we spent a lot of money on those tickets, and it was so late. It was for K-Rock Acoustic Christmas, and Channy was like trying not to fall asleep, but
I was like,
yeah, when they came out, she was like, "Yay!"
But you also got it. You saw some other great bands in that show too, like Social Distortion and Jimmy Eat World, and
the Black Keys.
the Black Keys.
So
which you
Daddy
liked.
was in heaven
Yeah.
because those were all bands that he really liked.
I
So-
loved
Same
all the
with
bands.
Mom.
I loved all the bands.
Well, that's not really my jam. If it was like
You liked some of the stuff.
if it was like Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, then I would have been like, bum, bum,
Why do you
bum.
like Snoop Dogg? He swears so much.
I know it's so inappropriate. Anyway,
Mommy likes all the swear songs.
I do not.
B B B B F F.
Chan, don't do that. No BBBs, FFFs.
No, but Mom does like the rap. Mom does like rap, gangster rap from the 80s and 90s. And yes, it was inappropriate.
I'm just glad you don't like it.
It was inappropriate.
And hearing Mommy sing it is even more inappropriate. Go on a long car trip with her, you will hear it.
Not true. Anyway, I do love the hippity hop. So Taylor Swift massive tour. Beyonce is also having a massive tour
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
Madonna
Had to cancel.
had to cancel her tour because of an illness. And I remember at the beginning of the summer when I was talking about Dave Holmes, the famous MTV radio DJ.
Sure, well, you're on his podcast.
Yeah, I was on his podcast and I was talking about potentially having him come on our show to talk about the massive women who were having concert tours throughout the summer.
Yeah.
You had Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Madonna,
Lizzo.
Janet Jackson, and Lizzo,
Yeah.
just to name a few, that were all on tour this summer, which is incredible. And they're all female solo artists who are selling, girl power, who are selling out stadiums around the US and around the world. So that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Of course, the Madonna had to cancel hers. We saw Janet Jackson at the Hollywood Bowl. Which
How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I had such a great time. And then we're getting ready to see Ben Folds perform here in Los Angeles, another solo artist who sometimes has a band with him and stuff. But so music is just a huge part of our lives.
We saw Placebo, too.
We saw Placebo this summer, yeah.
Yep.
So music is a big part of our lives and an essential part of, I think, pop culture. So much is dictated in pop culture by music, by artists who influence everything from obviously what we listen to, but to fashion, to how we speak. And so that's why I think it's important that, we talk about it, give some love to music.
Well, because music is the common ground, right? Everyone has their different tastes in music. It's all subjective, but there's no one, I think, on the planet that's like, music's not my thing. I don't like any kind of music ever.
Well, I used to be like that when I was little. I was like, yeah.
But you were little, so you get a pass. And now you like music. I mean, there's not a person on the planet that doesn't have that one song that they'll bop their head to in the car.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm bored and my friends are like, sorry, I'm calling a different friend, I'm like, okay, I'll just play some Imagine Dragons and play some games.
Yeah.
You know?
It's in the background. I for me, like even in our house, I get uncomfortable when there's not music playing somewhere.
We have music constantly playing in our
Yes.
house.
Yeah.
On the Google.
The
So yeah,
Google.
music is important. So what I have sort of tasked Dad with
Sure.
for this episode is to talk about like some of your favorite artists, maybe some favorite concerts that you've seen.
Oh God.
But also, let's talk about, before we get into that though, let's talk about one of my favorite things that you and I talk about is cover songs.
Oh yeah.
When artists do cover songs, bands, you know what a cover song is?
No.
Okay. You want to tell her?
Yeah, a cover song is when a band sings another band's song. A band performs another band's song.
But of course, they ask the band.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll ask the band, or they'll get permission, or sometimes not. But if they record the song, yes, they have to ask the band for sure. But yeah, it's when a band covers another band, plays another band's
They
music,
sings another band's song. Or
and
another-
sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much.
all right. So yes.
So Imagine Dragons actually did that
Okay, what song?
Yes.
to a Taylor Swift song.
They did.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah. I
You don't know which one, huh?
I don't know the name of it, but I know some of the lyrics.
Okay. Go ahead.
How does it go?
Gotta love the strikes, lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane.
Oh.
I'm still drawing a
'Cause I
blank.
got a blank space for
Blank
you,
space.
baby.
Blank space. Okay,
Yeah.
blank
I'll
space.
let you know.
Imagine Dragons covered that. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
they
didn't know
covered
that.
that.
Okay, cool.
He's it was actually they recorded it live from
Was it the Vegas in Las
Yes,
Vegas?
It was.
Yes, it was. He said this is a song by Taylor Swift.
That's really neat.
That is a good cover. And there's some other stuff. Sometimes Channing will sing a song and be like, have you heard of this song? And she'll start singing it. And I'm like, yeah, that's like 30 years old. She's like, no, I just saw it on YouTube. So there's a lot of new artists that are rediscovering old songs and covering them. But I want to hear from our music expert, our Brooker Beats King here. What music covers? What are you top? Do you have a top 10 or you want to do top 5?
I can go top 50 if you need me to.
Oh, well, in that
but I've got at
case-
least a top 10.
Top
Let's
1
do top 10.
million.
Top 10 favorite cover bands from Chris Brooker or
So-
cover songs.
So here's the thing with covers. Covers are great. I love hearing a good cover. I love it when a band can take a song and make it their own while still paying a good amount of respect and homage to the original band. I think
Right.
that's awesome. I don't like it when a band will cover a song and make it exactly like that original cover
Sure.
song. They have to kind of make it their own, but while still paying their due respect. So that being said, covers are argumentative and subjective. Like for every 5 covers I can list, there are a dozen more that are equally as good or better. So
All
here
right,
we
well,
go.
get to it.
In no uncertain order. The covers that I have are Jolene by the White Stripes.
Okay.
The White Stripes covering Jolene. Now, Jolene is a Dolly Parton song. It's been covered by Miley Cyrus, many others. The White Stripes did a really good version of it too. I highly recommend it.
Fair.
I think I've heard that song.
You
You
probably,
probably
have.
have. Yeah. Mommy sings it a lot in the shower.
Yeah.
The next one Mom knows, The Book of Love by Mike Doughty.
Oh, Mike Doughty.
The Book of Love is a song by the Magnetic Fields. I almost forgot their name. By the Magnetic Fields. It's an old indie song, and Mike Doughty does a great cover of it. Peter Gabriel also did a cover of it, but I like Mike Doughty's better.
Agreed.
Sweet Jane by the Cowboy Junkies, covering Velvet Underground off the Trinity Sessions. A very good song. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
Oh,
A
yeah, that's
beautiful
a good one.
song,
That's
beautiful
epic.
Dolly Parton cover that Whitney Houston literally turned it into her own song. Completely changed the song, but made it almost better than the original, I think. And also Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah is basically on everyone's top 5 list of best covers. The Leonard Cohen original, Jeff Buckley really made it his own as well. I've also got, rounding out the top 10 in my lower 5, I've got Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. Sinead, rest in peace. She covered a Prince song called Nothing Compares to You.
Which
Beautiful
is an
song.
amazing song.
Social Distortion, speaking of the not necessarily acoustic Christmas, Ring of Fire, which you heard them play live. Great version of the Johnny Cash original. Sturgill Simpson, off of one of his latest albums, covered Nirvana's In Bloom, which is a really cool, interesting cover. Also made it his own. Ryan Adams' Wonderwall, speaking of a country cover, Ryan Adams singing Oasis's Wonderwall. And my final one is kind of an offbeat one. It's William Shatner covering Pulp's Common People.
Okay.
Which is a cool version, kind of a novelty song, but it's really fun to listen to, especially because Jarvis Cocker from Pulp accompanies him on the song at some point. So all really good covers. But like I said, there's so many more. Just thinking of these,
I know,
and thinking about bands that turn songs into their own. Other bands come to mind, like Metallica making Turn the Page into their own song. Comes to mind abruptly, but. So many good covers, so many more I could mention. How about you? What are some of your favorite covers?
One thing I think you forgot is "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is "Hurt." Yes, that's a
one
great
big
song.
one. I was like surprised wasn't on your list. Yeah, fail.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, I did. I missed it. I totally missed it. Yes, Johnny. That's another example of a song where he did it so well that people that heard it actually thought he did it originally.
Yeah.
Same happened with Nirvana when Nirvana covered Man Who Sold the World, originally done by David Bowie.
Yeah.
That song became so popular, younger people were actually going up to David Bowie, thanking him for covering Nirvana when he sang that song in concert. When it was his song originally.
Yeah. There are a lot of songs where I hear that I'm like, this is a cover. And just like just a side note here, you know the TV show Bridgerton?
Yeah.
You don't watch it, but I watch it.
No, I know it though.
It's
I
really
know
for adults and not for kids. But one thing they do there that's really kind of cool, in the vein of covers, is they will do an orchestral cover of a modern pop song.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, I remember watching it going, what is it? Am I listening to, is this WAP? Is this, what am I listening to? But it's like an orchestral cover of like some like popular song. And I'm like, I love that. I think it's such a smart and unique thing to do. But I love cover songs. I think it's always neat to hear a different artist's take on those songs. Kelly Clarkson does it a lot on her talk show.
Okay.
She'll come out, like that's one of the things she does is she kicks off the show with either one of her own songs or a cover. I love seeing live in concerts when artists sing other bands.
Yep.
And I can only imagine that that's because they're like a fan of that artist, or maybe it was a song they wanted to sing.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw on TikTok a few weeks ago, but Ed Sheeran is also touring.
Yeah.
And he was in Detroit and he did a cover of 8 Mile of Knees Weak, Arms Are Ready. And then in the middle of
Eminem came out.
Eminem came out of it. And the audience went bananas.
I bet.
Eminem is one of the most famous rappers in the
Yes,
world.
but he swears a lot.
He what?
He swears
does
a
swear a
lot.
lot.
He does swear
Yeah, there's
a lot.
a lot of swears.
A bunch of some of the boys in my class listen to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Other 10-year-olds, huh?
Yeah, because sometimes my teacher will be like, okay, you can listen to music while you do your work. Some of the boys on YouTube, Eminem 1 hour loop or something like that.
Eminem's a really famous rapper, but he does have a lot of sweary lyrics for sure.
Yeah.
But he came out in the middle of the Ed Sheeran song and the
I
audience
did hear
went
about that.
bananas. I should show you the video.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. But what's weird about it is hearing Ed Sheeran sing, knees weak, arms are sweaty like box spaghetti. And you're like, where are you going with this?
But to have the original artist come out, that's like Eminem signing off on it, saying, "Hey, this is cool that you're doing this
in Detroit."
In Detroit,
Which is
I'll
his
go along with
hometown,
that.
which is what 8 Mile is all about.
I heard the band The Gourds did a cover of Gin and Juice, the Snoop song. So it's a country version of Gin and Juice, and someone had Snoop listen to it and caught it on camera, and he was like bopping along to it, giving his approval of that version of the song. So it's always cool when you have the original artists sign off.
I think I said that song was called 8 Mile. It's called Lose Yourself.
Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
From
the
8 Mile.
8 Mile soundtrack. Yeah, I misspoke. Nobody at me. I do want to point out, though, we had a listener, somebody who watches actually the show on YouTube, say that they want you to talk about the Travis Scott album.
Cool.
And I know you haven't had time to listen to that yet or prep for it yet, but for a future episode,
It is on my list.
we will do that. But yeah, anything else that we're excited about? Any concerts coming up in the fall that we're looking forward to? Or
Well, I mean, we're hitting up Ben Folds, which is great. You love seeing Ben Folds in concert. We've seen him a couple of times. Outside of that, I'm not sure what else is. I think we're kind of almost tapped
doesn't
out.
summer
as far
always
as,
seem sort of like the season for concerts?
Yes.
I mean, I
Yes,
don't really.
it does very much.
Yeah,
But that being said, we're in LA. There's always some
it
kind
does
of
sort of
concert
feel like
going.
year round. You can pretty much
I'm
go.
really upset. I missed the Liz Phair concerts. She came into LA earlier this year for the 25th anniversary of the Exile in Guyville album, and I really wanted to see it, but I think it was just it missed our radar and we had other things going on or something like that. But I mean, we miss more concerts than we go to out here, unfortunately.
Well, it's just so expensive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
honestly,
is.
when I see our friends go and I see people go, I'm like, how can they afford this? Because I know I looked at those tickets and they were $500 each.
For nosebleeds.
The cheap seats at the Taylor Swift concerts were going for anywhere from $700 to $900
What?
up each, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Can't justify it. You can't
now, I
justify
guess
it.
if you're a single person and like that's your summer spend or whatever, I get it. Or if you're just, you know, such a massive fan, like I get it. I did spend a crazy amount to go see Janet Jackson, but Janet Jackson was my first musical like love.
Well,
Like,
she's an icon too.
she's an icon, and when am I ever going to get the chance?
That
to
was
see
an
her?
icon show. You kind of have to.
Madonna was coming through town, I would go see her.
Yep.
For sure.
I
Because
would
those
join
are
you.
the artists I
Yeah.
grew up with.
I'm not even a fan of. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of Janet or Madonna, but they are icons, and so you want to see.
Yes.
It's like if Led Zeppelin, you know, could perform again.
Didn't
you know.
we see Led Zeppelin? Leonard Skinner, that's who we saw.
We did not see Led Zeppelin.
No, I was like, wait, didn't we? No.
No, we saw Skinnerd.
We saw what's left of Leonard
What's
Skinner.
left of
And that was something.
That sure was a thing.
It was like, I feel like, you know, L7 is playing.
I
in
love
LA?
L7.
I know you do. They're playing
That'd
in
be
Venice.
that's going to be a loud show.
Oh no.
Oh, Channing's like, I don't know who
They're
that
punk rock,
is.
Channing. They're punk. They're very hard punk.
I'm just sort of looking through now. Oh, Alice in Chains.
See, I don't want to see any of the '90s bands.
You don't?
No, I have no desire to see
I'm
Stone
shocked.
Temple Pilots without Scott Weiland.
Oh,
I have no
love
desire to
that.
see Alice in Chains without Lane Staley.
Okay, yeah.
That being said, I'd see Pearl Jam, but I don't want to see. Soundgarden is no more. I don't
Who
think.
are you, and what have you done with my father?
I would love to see Pearl Jam. I've actually looked to see. Oh,
I've
Pink.
seen them.
We forgot to mention Pink. Pink is also touring right now and selling out massive stadiums.
I would go
around
see
the world
Pink. I like
with her
music.
acrobatic
Yeah.
singing.
She's
show.
also a performer.
Yeah,
also
she's
a
an
great
incredible
performer.
Yeah, and in my list of the powerful ladies, please don't at me. I forgot to mention Pink. She's amazing too.
Yep.
I actually looked up to see when Pearl Jam might be playing again, anywhere or anytime.
They haven't played LA in a long time.
No, but Eddie Vedder plays a lot. He's actually playing, or may have already.
Oh, he does a lot of
played,
solo stuff. Yeah.
there's like a beach festival in Manhattan Beach or something where he was performing, and I was like, ooh, I'd almost be willing to go, but I need to know if he's going to play his hits. Like, I don't need the Eddie Vedder solo stuff.
I think that's what he'll play. He's not going to
Yeah.
play Pearl Jam songs without Pearl Jam.
I'm not seeing, just based on like initial quick glance, for any other like major concerts that are touring in the fall. Shout out to Lindsay Sterling. We saw her last Christmas. She's an incredible performer as well. If you get a chance to go see her live, it's definitely worth it.
Well,
Talk
that's
about
a-
acrobatics.
Well,
you
that's
know.
an excellent segue too to this week's Brooker Beats.
Yay!
So this week's Brooker Beats, speaking of Lindsay Sterling and speaking of covers, she's recently released a cover of Led Zeppelin's Kashmir, which is pretty awesome because
I saw that on her Instagram.
yeah, so Kashmir is one of those rock songs that just have that iconic guitar riff when it opens up. So you got that. And then with this particular song, what makes it unique as a cover is that it's an instrumental cover. So in place of the vocals for Kashmir, you've got Lindsay on violin. You got her violins. And she's such an accomplished and talented and just badass violinist.
Yeah. Daddy cussed.
No, not really.
Cussing jail over there.
Not
Sit
really.
in the corner.
The song is really good. It's really fun to listen to. So I highly recommend it. Lindsay Sterling's cover of Kashmir.
That was sort of an accidentally perfect segue.
It was amazing. I'm so glad you said Lindsay Sterling.
I know. I love it. Well, that was like this.
I'm a big fan of hers too. I've always liked her music.
Yeah, she's fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, we have some fantastic merch.
Oh, what?
Where can people check out our merch, Channing?
You can check it at www. I don't know why I say that. Brookerfamilypodcast.merch.
Popcast.
Podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't want them
.com.
going. Don't go to that wrong website.
I said dot merch.
You did say .merch.
.com.
It's
BrookerFamilyPodcast.com is where you can get mugs, t-shirts, bags, tote bags,
Masks.
backpacks, all kinds of stuff.
Water bottle stickers.
Yeah, go check it out, hun. We would love for your support of our show.
Water bottle
We'd
sticker.
also love for you to support us if you can. Stop it. By subscribing to our show, share it with friends, leave a 5-star review. It would mean the world to us. Plus, we just love to hear from you. If there's anything that you would like us to talk about, especially during these dire strike times where we're like trying to figure out how we can, what we can cover. Send us a message, leave us a comment. We see them all. Follow us on social media, the Brooker Family Podcast on all platforms. You can also watch our show, which is why we have a whole video. If you didn't know this, we're not just audio.
We look sharp,
We
too.
have a whole video that you can watch. Just check it out on Spotify, YouTube, or go to Apple TV and search Brooker Family Podcast. Yes, Channing.
We're gorgeous.
We are gorgeous. Thank you. And on that note, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.